Are you active military or working full-time and considering real estate on the side? Well, stick with us for this incredible story. We're featuring Chaka Sellers, who was full-time in the Air Force when he found himself getting into real estate. With over 20 transactions and $5 million in sales volume in his first year as a part-time agent, while also starting his family. This is such an inspiring journey that you'll not want to miss.
Welcome to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission, where we dive into real stories, big wins, and early lessons learned from highly successful rookie real estate agents and brokers. This is the series where we explore how real estate transforms lives, one home at a time, by sitting down each week with a new agent or broker who has found incredible success in their first year. Your hosts are instructors and leaders at Colibri Real Estate School, one of the largest real estate educators in the nation, where we focus on helping people like you get started or find continued success in their careers.
Hello, and welcome to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission. I'm your host, Tina Lapp. I have been in real estate education for over 30 years and working to help individuals enter and thrive in their real estate careers.
My name is Giovanna Mancuso. I am your co-host. I've been in real estate for over 10 years, and I'm also a real estate instructor for both New York and Florida.
We are here today with Chaka Sellers. Chaka, so excited for our conversation. Will you take a moment, introduce yourself, maybe where you live and what company you're with?
Definitely. First of all, thank you guys for having me. My name's Chaka Sellers. I live in Hopkins. It's right outside Columbia, South Carolina, and I'm with Slate Realty based out of Sumter, South Carolina.
Great. So, Chaka, what were you doing before you became a real estate agent?
So believe it or not, I was actually active duty Air Force at Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. I did 20 years and I just retired last year. So now I'm a full-time agent.
Great. Thank you for your service. So what inspired you to pursue a career in real estate?
So it all happened fast. Initially, I had a buddy that PCS moved to Germany, and his house, he had a tenant in it, and they wrecked it. So he knew I worked on homes, and I flipped his house for him and got him ready. And a buddy of mine was a realtor, and she said, "Why don't you just get your license?" I said, "Okay, I'll figure it out." So ended up flipping his house. It sold for more than, what he had it on the market for, because the market was hot.
Right.
And it just became a passion. And then working with people that I personally knew that were in desperate need of help and someone they could trust. So that's how I started the business. It turned out great.
So would that be the specific moment or the person that influenced your decision to become a real estate agent?
That was the moment. I think what influenced me to actually become an agent, because if you ask my brokers, I told them when I got my license, I do not want to sell houses. I just want to be a referral agent.
Right.
And it happened overnight because I realized, it's not just selling the house. I'm actually making a commitment to helping people in their most desperate times. A lot of my clientele are military, and they're coming to me and calling me through FaceTime, hoping that I put them in a house that they can enjoy once they get to Shaw or Fort Jackson. So It was a calling.
That's great.
Yeah, Chaka, so let's just get this story straight. You were full-time military in the Air Force, helping out a buddy, and you decide, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get my real estate license. What'd you do? Did you start taking classes? How'd you figure that out? That's big. You were a busy fella.
Yes, Tina. So honestly, I worked at the headquarters on base for the Central Command. And most of our business was, 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. So in the afternoons, I took my classes through the ceshop.com. So I was able to take online classes for the state and national tests. And that's how I had to push through.
Wow. So you spent your early morning hours, 4 a.m., a lot of people would consider pretty early, working on the base. And then you were taking classes in the afternoon. Did you sleep during that time?
Yeah. Yeah. And we just had our first kid 3 years ago. So it was pressure. I had to get it done.
Wow, that's great. So How long did it take you to you said you did online classes, so I assume they were self-paced. How long
Yes,
did
ma'am.
it take you to get through the classes?
It took me about 3 months to get through the classes, and then it took me about another 2 months to actually get licensed because I had
Okay.
to take the test and everything.
Yeah. So, what was the biggest challenge? We have a lot of people
Oh,
watching. They're same thing, like life is busy. How do I balance it? What was your biggest challenge going through classes and living your life at the same time?
honestly, the hardest challenge was navigating time because even though we didn't have a child yet, the wife would be seeing me on the couch with my laptop, like, so it's 5 o'clock. I came home. What we doing today? And it's just finding a healthy balance. And then on the weekends, waking up early. She was sleeping in. I still was on my sleep schedule, being at work at 4 or 5 in the morning. So I was up to early working on the weekends, trying to get the class done. So it's just finding a healthy balance that you can do, but also don't jeopardize your relationships.
It's a great call out.
So, what were your expectations going into your first year as an agent? What did you expect for that first year?
Yeah. So Georgia, honestly, I did not want to sell houses. So I honestly wanted to be a referral agent, help my
Right.
buddies that were coming to Shaw and, help them navigate the process.
Right.
But it came down to trust. A lot of people that contacted me said, I don't want to work with anyone unless I'm working with you.
Right.
So it blew up overnight. My first two deals were actually a referral from an agent
So,
in Charleston.
good question. So, how long after you got your license did you do your first transaction?
Uh, about a month.
About a
So
month. Wow, pretty quick.
it was two deals that came to me out from a referral agent in Charleston. He was also retired Air Force, and he said,
Mhm.
"Hey, I see you're active duty, man. I want to help you get started." So I
That,
said, "Okay, I'll
that's
try
great.
it out," and I was blessed.
So now, how did you market yourself? What did you do to establish credibility? Was it through the military? Since it seems like that's where your referrals are all pretty much coming from in the beginning.
Definitely through the military, and I went to a boutique brokerage. I didn't go to a big name brokerage, so I made myself and my own brand. Um, I always tell people, I may not be the agent for you, and that's okay.
Right.
I want to make sure that I keep my reputation bigger than a paycheck. That's more important to me.
So, what marketing channels or techniques did you use that you found were effective?
No, I honestly, social media. It was a big presence for me.
So, like
I had
Instagram kind of thing. Did you have a business
definitely
page
definitely Instagram and Facebook.
and
That's
Facebook?
all I use. I haven't jumped on the TikTok bandwagon, but I wish I could. It's hard to navigate and get in it once you're so far behind. But
Right.
definitely Facebook and Instagram. I had a flooring business, so that started out, and
Right.
then as I started fixing people's houses, they also wanted me to sell them. And then homes that I sold, they would need flooring done. So I let it all connect together and help me build the brand.
So that's how you achieved success because you were helping them out, fixing their homes, and then selling them for them.
Yes, yes. And making sure that, it's not always about money.
Right.
Sometimes I would do deals to where I can get paid at closing if I had to do your floors. That's
Right.
okay. I know military folks, they don't have 5 to 10 grand to just throw into a
Right.
house they're selling. So I made it work.
That's great. That's great. So talk about, did you do open houses when you were selling?
Yes.
Did you do open houses? Were they successful? Some agents think, oh, it's not for me. What were they for you?
So I think the strategy that you do for your open houses is more important than just, putting a flyer out there and say, hey, I'm gonna do an open house.
Right.
A lot of agents to me, they'll do an open house and they don't go around the neighborhood, talk to the neighbors. Because a lot of neighbors are nosy or they have friends that want to move
Right.
near them.
Right.
So if you get them to come to the house, you'll
Yep.
build your own brand. And people will get to know you. So even though they may not come to your open house, they seen your face, they seen your sign.
Yep.
They may call you later to sell their house.
Right. Agreed.
So definitely I think open houses are important.
So would you say your specific target audience was, I guess, members of the military, people that you knew, Would that be who your target audience was?
Yes, and we talk about it a lot in school, your sphere.
Yep.
So the military was my sphere.
Yep.
As long as I'm doing good business and taking care of the people that take care of me, it has never stopped.
Yep. Great.
Chaka, you are now retired military, correct?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
and so when did you make that switch from like all this time, your first year, you're doing this part-time, right? Like you're doing
Yes.
this part-time. The success you had is incredible. When did you decide to make the leap into real estate full-time?
So it was more of the sense of passion. What was my passion going towards? Because I love working for the Air Force. I love doing my duty. But it wasn't going to last forever. I've had 2 knee surgeries, my shoulder surgery, all within the last 5 years. Time was up. And I found a new passion. So doing real estate was the passion, and you got to know when to let go.
Yeah. Yeah. And tell me, what is it about real estate that you found your passion in? What is it about real estate?
Helping people. I tell before I have clients, when we're having just a regular conversation, I don't like to go and shove paperwork in their face. I tell them, look, my first home I bought, the week after I bought it was in Delaware. The HVAC went out, and I didn't know anything. I was told the home was actually it was condemned before I bought it. It was a fix and flip, and I felt tricked because I didn't know any better. So my biggest thing is educating my clients. Hey, what's the deal that you're looking for? How much are you looking to spend? And then also, we don't want to make you house poor, meaning you can come home and that's all you can do. You can't go out and enjoy the family or the environment that you're living in the community. So I like to keep everything realistic as far as expectations.
Yeah. So here you are in your first year. You're figuring out this is your passion. There had to be some challenges, right? Like you're a new agent, you're trying to get your feet wet, like you don't know a whole lot yet. We all know that
Right.
the exam doesn't necessarily prepare you for the career. What were some of your challenges?
Well, a lot of it was older agents, honestly, were blocking me. uh, so before I got my license, I actually contacted my old agent and asked her, hey, do you think this is possible?
Yeah.
And she said, no, you can't do it part-time. So that was a motivating factor for me. And then also making sure I read paperwork. Contracts are important, knowing the terminology. It was a learning experience. It's always going to be a learning experience. Things change.
Did you have people, you said you were at a boutique brokerage. So who helped you? Some places they have much bigger systems. How did you work with your brokerage to get support?
So my brokers, Larry and Alicia, they have a great program to where it's a mentorship program.
Mhm.
Before we were Slate Realty, we were Excel Real Estate. And Excel had a mentorship program to where your mentor guided you through those programs, and they provided the funds for your mentor. So my mentor was Lakita Smith. She's actually the one that told me to get my license when I was flipping the house. And she guided me through the whole process, sat with me on my first listing, showed me how to upload things in the MLS, but gave me homework and let me know it's your business. You're only as successful as you put the work in for.
How meaningful is that, though, to have someone that can help mentor you and for our audience to understand, like you don't go it alone. It's okay to ask for help or to lean on others, because that would have been a tough first year without having any support, wouldn't it?
Definitely. And honestly, a lot of the agents are very friendly. You can call anyone outside of your brokerage and they'll want to help. It's not, we don't compete. We're all here to help. And then also when you get a deal, you're working for the client. It's not personal.
Yeah. Great thoughts. So you're managing, balancing your first year, learning, and you're at that time, were you doing some of the house flipping also?
So once real estate took off, I didn't have as much time as for the flipping. Uh, so I had to study, got the license, and then the houses, they kept coming.
Yeah.
People were already PCS and using them as rental properties, and they said, "Hey, I need your help," because it became a seller's market and people wanted out, and I was there at the right time.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt either. So, any funny experiences with a client or a goof up or something? Like we're all human, right? Those things happen. Anything funny from your early days in real estate?
Nothing that I could share.
Fair enough. It's good knowing you have them, though. That's great.
Everyone's
That's
going to
great.
have those moments.
Yeah. So many of your clients came through your network originally, and then I'm sure you started to expand out, and it was people that you had never met before, maybe you picked up at an open house. How did you establish relationships with new clients?
So I even have a team now, so I have to tell my team and also other agents that are new to the brokerage, make yourself known online. What I'm trying to say is make a realtor.com profile, Zillow profile, Trulia. They're free and people find you. Some of my investors picked me because, oh, we saw that you had reviews on realtor.com. They were not affiliated with the military. They don't even live here. And they trusted me because of my experiences that I've had, but also because I was able to be found online. Don't be a secret agent.
Great advice. If nothing else that you take out of this, right? Don't be a secret agent. That's not what this is about. That's awesome. Um, so you said you do this, like your passion is helping people, right? You're not a sales guy. The sales come, but it's first about helping people. Is there a client story that stands out to you, or an interaction that particularly touched you?
So honestly, a lot of my clients, they are military. But one that sticks out the most is had a guy that he was security forces, a cop, stay at home wife, and they needed about $10,000 almost in flooring done and painting done, um, and they didn't have the money. It just wasn't possible. So we were able to take care of it all beforehand, before hitting the market. I did it on my own expense. I have another business. I wrote it on that business. I told him, look, we'll get paid at closing. Um, but he was able to get his home sold, clear all his debt because he was only in the house for 3 years. So if you know, it's a VA loan. He had to pay a VA funding fee. So he's really not coming out with any money, but he was able to break even and just be able to move and start over. A lot of people that are especially military, they think the VA loan is the best thing, and it can be. However, if you get orders, you still have to pay the loan off if you want to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Long term.
Long term, I do not want to open my own brokerage. So
So you don't want to be
hopefully,
a broker? So are you sales? Maybe upgrade to broker? Do you see yourself
I
doing that maybe?
definitely, I think education is important. I'll definitely get my broker's license, but I do not want to own my own brokerage. I have a team, and I'm happy at that level.
Right.
But maybe becoming an actual real estate instructor, because like I said, I'm not too much into sales. I like to help people.
I'm a
So
real
if I
estate
can help
instructor. I
them,
see that. I get
hey,
that. That's what I do. I teach for New York and for Florida. So yes, that's great.
that would be a goal. I like to talk to people and motivate them and let them know you can do this, but you have to
Right.
do it for the right reasons, and people will understand if you're authentic or not.
100%. 100%. So do you have any tips or tricks that you can share with aspiring real estate agents that are just starting out? What's your best advice, tip, or trick that you could give them?
So you'll see the most successful agents in your market, and you'll see their success, but you don't see their struggles. Everybody has a struggle. So even don't judge yourself based on someone else's success. Just work twice as hard as what you imagine. Set your goals, but make them realistic. So if you want to sell 2 houses a month, well, you probably need to talk to 200 people in that month.
Right.
Because what you do today pays in 90 days. That's been my philosophy. So
Sure.
if you didn't work in January, don't expect a paycheck in March and
You're
April.
right. You're right. You're right. Excellent advice. Excellent advice.
So, Chaka, today, how are you balancing, now that you're in real estate full time, how are you balancing? I think you have a family, you are selling real estate full time. What's the balance? How do you balance all of it?
So keeping everyone realistic with timing. I can't help everyone. And also, if I can't do the job for you, I have a team now that supports. So I have 2 other agents that have been awesome joining the team. Earl and Sylvie, they're full-time agents as well. And they're able to help a lot of my buyers so I can handle mostly the listings. So I think creating a team. My mom moved down here, so she's now my transaction coordinator.
Cool.
So
That's great.
it's creating a team that is staffed that helps you.
Yeah, you're pulling your family in. That's great.
Oh, definitely.
That's great. And how long, I'd love to dive in just real quick before we go to the next section into like when you joined a team, how you establish a team. Was that immediate after you were licensed, or did that come over time?
So that came, I say, after my first year and a half.
Okay.
Because we started like you were talking about, balance. I can't do it all. So, after I get off of work from the Air Force, I get out of work, now I have to go show homes. That's just not sustainable. So it was finding that balance and then having realistic expectation with my clients. Like, hey, I am still active duty. And a lot of them knew because they were active duty. Yeah. So it was putting my trust in people and training them and doing the same things that I would do. So that was my strategy, making standards and expectations within my team.
Yeah, smart. How long after you were licensed did you go full time?
I'll say about 2.5 years because I just retired.
Yeah, I knew it was recent. So, and congratulations on being retired. You're working more than ever, right?
The phone doesn't stop.
That's a good thing in real estate. It's a good thing. So 2.5 years. Do you wish you would have gone full time in real estate sooner?
No, I think it happened at the right time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they jump head first into it, and you can. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that your bills are always going to be paid. So I tell a lot of people, I'm not your typical agent. Don't try to mirror what I do because I have a pension coming in. So if you're not successful, then you're hunting for a check. But I think it happened at the right time. That way I can honestly be my authentic self with people and see if we gel together. If we don't mesh, then it won't be a good client-customer or client-broker relationship. Yeah,
that's good. And it sort of worked out the way it should have worked out. Like that's a great story. So, Chaka, we're going to have some fun and just ask some questions about you. This is our lightning round. So
okay,
we're going to jump in just a couple things, 60 seconds or less, the first thing that comes to your mind. The first one I'm going to ask, is there a book or a podcast, real estate related or not, that you would recommend for the audience and why?
Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy. I'm a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. And I saw A.J. Brown reading it. I was like, all right, let me check this out. But it's about self-motivation and keeping yourself balanced. So that was good to me.
That's a great one. I love that. So if we had a time machine and you could go back to the day that you started this journey, what advice would you give yourself?
Sorry. My advice would honestly be to make sure you take time for you. You don't get time back. So don't work yourself into the ground and know when to cut your losses. You can't help everybody.
Yeah, that's a great
it's tough
one
in
too.
The real estate market, yeah.
If you could have dinner with one person, whether they're dead or alive, who would it be and why?
One of my favorite, Barack Obama. I would like the opportunity to sit down with him and just have a honest chat, have a beer with him, and just the way he speaks is just so eloquent. So I want to understand, how do you keep the calmness in the storm?
Yeah, I don't know. You're pretty close. You have that calmness about you, like that calm confidence. Like it's cool. Yeah. Tell us about your day at work yesterday.
Well, yesterday I had a closing, so that was good.
We like those. Yeah.
Yeah. Had a family that moved here from Japan. We closed at 10 in the morning, but then at 8 at night, they had a refrigerator delivered and it leaked. And this is a brand new home. So try to help them out today, get them got soaked up, and they may need new cabins. So there's always something to do.
It's so true. I actually, for purposes of our discussion today, I love that happened yesterday. But I'm so sorry it happened yesterday, but it just demonstrates like these are the things that happen in real estate, and obviously one of the reasons why you have found so much success. So congratulations to you on your success. Where can listeners and viewers find you, connect with you, and follow your journey?
You can find me on Facebook, Chaka Sellers, my name. On Instagram, I'm CWSellers04. And you can just give me a call, 803-406-9927. I'm an open book. I like to have real discussions with people.
Great. So, Chaka, thank you so much for spending time with us today and sharing your journey. I know your story will inspire other agents who are listening, starting a career out in real estate, those who are trying to launch their career, hearing about social media and that use to brand yourself so that people know that you're out there and what you do. Like you said, utilize those free services, your profiles on Realtor.com and Trulia and Zillow and all that. Also, I think it's such a great thing that you are doing in terms of working with the military and helping them achieve their dream of home ownership and or investment. It sounds like you do work on that too. So it's not just residential, it might be in some investment, I'm assuming. So that's just terrific. And I thank you for your service. And I thank you for putting your heart into real estate and helping those.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks for tuning in to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission. We hope today's stories and insights inspired you to take that next step in your real estate journey. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode, or head over to our channel to see some of the other content we've produced. We'd also love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your biggest takeaway or a question for our next guest. If you have a recommendation for someone we should interview, please send a note to unlockingrealestate@colibrirealestate.com.